Hi and welcome to the channel, welcome to another video. This is a lesson tutorial on one of my favourite Kelly Joe Phelps tunes. This is Big Shaky. Big Shaky is from the 2006 release Tunesmith Retrofit. Kelly Joe Phelps at the time was really finding his feet as a singer-songwriter, and this particular one is probably my favourite track on the album, I think. It's an awesome kind of 3-chord blues trick with a really funky feel to it. It's standard tuned, but it does have a capo on the first fret, putting the whole thing in F, presumably just to suit the vocal and the overall vibe of the thing. Let's break it down and have a look at some of the riffs that are in the song. So we're using 3 main chords for the main riff: E minor 7, G with the extensions on the top here, making it like a G5, and A7. So, you know, a busker's version of that, you might be going E minor, G, and A. So it's working its way from the E minor up to the G and over to the A. The riff itself sounds like this. What's happening is that the bass is happening with the thumb, much like a lot of Kelly Joe Phelps' music and his guitar playing. He was using the alternating thumb to play the riff, which means that that's the part you really want to nail down to give that really funky, groovy feel that you find in this song. So to get this funky riff, you've got to use the thumb in an alternating fashion, going between your E, a little riff, the G, and the A. It's using like a Travis pick, but a slightly modified Travis pick to get the riff. The rule of thumb for Travis picking is that your thumb's going to play one of the bottom 3 strings, and your index and middle fingers are going to play the top 3 strings. Now in this riff, I'm going to play on the A, the D, and the G string. So I'll just do that again. Okay. So that happens after I've played a low E. So it's all across that 2nd fret. I then change to the G chord, and then I'm picking as I normally might do a Travis pick G chord. So I go on G, then I change to the A7. So the A7, all that is just dropping what was in the 3rd fret down to the 2nd fret, and keeping the pinky in there, and that's where I land on that A7 chord. So that little section sounds like this. Now, after I've played that, I play the open strings. So the little treble part you hear in the high register is this. 1. With the riff in. And that's the main riff. It's a bit of a head scratcher. There is a little embellishment on that at the beginning, which you'll hear quite often, and it comes back again later in the song, where you get this little... And that little move, that's something that I use all the time in electric playing as well as acoustic playing. So what a brilliant thing that is. A little micro bend, 3rd fret on the B string, and then the high E open. Going into the verse now, it's kind of like a toned down version of the riff. So you get your E minor, G, and A again, but this time this is the pattern. This is a much more straight picking pattern going through these 3 chords this time. Do it again slowly. Okay, going into the bridge section, This is where your picking needs to be really on it to make this sound right, and also an awareness of what's going on chordally. It's a vamp on the A7, which is be like the 4 chord of this bluesy riff, and it does what's quite common in blues, to move the chord up through some inversions on the A, keeping the A in the bass. But Kelly Joe Phelps does a clever thing by introducing an 11 chord on the 3rd variation. So we've got this one first, A7. So that's just my 2nd fret on the D and B. Then got this version of the A7. It's like an A6 almost, that one. I've got a 4th fret here, and I've got a 3rd fret here on the B string. And then the next one, I've got what would be a 5th fret here, with my 6th fret here on the G, and my 3rd fret here on the B, and I keep the high E open. Such a nice chord. To pick through it, I'm just going to play it slowly. It's almost impossible to describe what's going on because the picking pattern is so ingrained when you learn this sort of style, but it's this. There's a bit where it goes back down to the G to lead us back to the E chord. So if I play it in its entirety, you'll see what I mean. I'll try and stick the tab up so you can see what's going on. But essentially, I'm Travis picking all the way through these 3 chords. Back to riff. The chorus, odd time signature, brilliant. So I played this song live for many years and didn't really realise till I transcribed it that why the drummer was getting in such a mess when it got to this particular point, and that's because it's got an odd time signature. There's a bar of 6 in there to bring the turnaround round. So it's like a 5 chord in the blues, 6 to 5. B7, well, it would be, sorry, is the target. It was C7 first, assuming the capo's not there. Fret 3 for this 7 chord. 3, 2 and 3 for the frets, and then down a semitone. Now it does go down to B flat as well, B flat 7 and then A7. So I've got these 3 chords. It's so cool, isn't it? So the pattern would be like this. I'll try and count it out as well, it's difficult though. 3, 4. Now there's a couple of little variations on what happens next. You're basically putting in the flavour of the main riff again. So you do this to get you back in, and that follows my A7 chord. So in context that'll sound like this. 3, 4. That little move varies slightly. Each chorus, I don't know if it's intentionally or just by the fact that it's a bit of a jam. So there's a couple of little variations on it. I'll play it a couple of ways so you can see how it sounds. It's a really groovy song to play this, and it's just another reminder of just how great Kelly Joe Phelps was. He's one of the only artists that I've followed that I've pretty much liked everything he's done, and yet everything he did was different. Every album was different. And I remember this being the first album that I bought as a digital download. And in those days, iTunes let you do an intro scan, so it would give you like a 30-second taster of each of the songs. I remember when Big Shaky popped up, I was like, wow, like, what a cool sound, a really funky feel, and you can just tell that he's done his time as a bass player. And so I really hope that you enjoy learning it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you like this sort of thing, then pop a comment in the comments section. I look forward to seeing you again in another video very soon. Take it easy. Bye.